Welcome back, hip-hop purists, to another episode of 40 Years of Hip-Hop, where we review and dissect 1,000 songs over the span of 40 years, from 1979 to 2019. This is your host with many aliases, the G-Man, also known as the G-Money, when I get mad, the Incredible G, and the fan, anime, kung fu fanatic, Shin Kuro Gaijin. And now, I'm known as Mr. Hip-Hop. Forever Hip Hop is out now. Go check it out at mixcloud.com/foreverhiphop. This is where we don't only play the hits, but have the dopest mix, never heard before songs, lost songs, unknown selections, and album cuts. Let's take a trip down memory lane. 2002 was a sad and poor year in hip hop to me. Nothing that came out that year was impressive except for a few exceptions. It was past the epic feud between Nas and Jay-Z, and even if they both dropped a great record that year, it wasn't the epitome of that year. Nas dropped Godsons and Jay-Z dropped Blueprint 2, The Gift and the Curse. The really memorable thing for me that year was the release of a mixtape of an up-and-coming artist that would change the game forever. 50 Cent's Guess Who's Back mixtape. It sparked the beginning of a new era in rap that brought gangster rap back to New York. It was his first official release after Power of the Dollar that went unreleased due to Columbia's Records discovery of a May 2000 shooting where 50 Cent was struck with 9 bullets and was then dropped from the label as a result. Guess Who's Back? It was recorded in Canada. This is my hometown, my home country, because 50 Cent was blacklisted in the recording industry and was unable to find a studio to work with in the US. As of May 2004, the mixtape had sold over 400,000 copies in the US. After releasing the album, 50 Cent was discovered by rapper Eminem, and the rest is history. Be on the lookout for this week's new episode on Friday by my partner in crime, Mr. Ron. We will review Poor Folks by Nappy Roots. Another group that I'm not familiar with. I remember the title of that song when it came out back in 2002, but their sound didn't appeal to me. It's a southern alternative group that were the best-selling hip-hop group in 2002. Can't wait to hear Mr. Ron's view to convince me to go check out their discography. Today we'll be reviewing episode 101. Lesson Learned by Wu-Tang featuring Redman and Inspector Deck from the 2017 album The Saga Continues. The Saga Continues is the 8th studio album by Wu-Tang Clan, produced by longtime Wu-Tang DJ producer Mathematics. The album was mixed by Josh Garnett. I'll explain in the production part who is that incredible mixing engineer, and add RZA as an executive producer. The group's name was shortened to Wu-Tang to mark the fact that the album features all Wu-Tang Clan members except U-God, due to his legal issues with the group over royalties. It also features guest appearances from Street Life, Redman, Sean Price, and others. Producer Mathematics has explained it's a Wu-Tang record, of course, but it can't be a complete Wu-Tang Clan album without U-God. Maybe you. Originality. What makes this original? The track Lesson Learned, which is more of a duet with Inspector Deck and honorary member Redman. Red and Deck together is damn original and hill. On the track, Deck makes a quick reference to Strictly, saying, "My price hiking like the pills Martin Shkreli sell." Remember in 2015, Martin Shkreli became infamous after he hiked up HIV medication price by 5,000% up and became rich with it. The song itself is so ill. The original Wu-Tang sound is back. I love it. You won't find a harder Wu-Tang fan than me. The Shin Kuro Gaijin side of me will one day have my channel strictly on Wu-Tang. A project to be on the lookout because Wu-Tang's catalog is so ill along with their extended new family members. Even for this review, I was in a dilemma with the other single people say from the same album. Which one to review? I didn't know, but I went with Lesson Learned since the production was harder. The video is interesting, nothing amazing, but nice and simple. Seems like the guys are going to commit a crime with a body in the trunk. You see Red, Mathematics, and Deck in the video. And Redman steals the show in the video with his comedic sketch in the intro and drop his cold-ass chorus that will have you nodding your head violently. You can also see a cameo of Bernadette Price, Sean Price's widow, at the end of the clip. And for all this reason, for originality, I had to go with a 4 out of 5. Fun fact. During the group's inception, Mathematics used his experience as a graffiti artist to design a logo for the up-and-coming crew, the W that we all know, as well as various other logos and designs the Wu-Tang artists would use in the future. So we have to give it up for Mathematics for that immortal symbol of the Wu-Tang, the W. Courtesy of Discog and AllMusic.com. Delivery, lyrics, and flow. The song's lyrics, how can you judge lyrics when you got the Rebel INS, Inspector Deck, and Redman on the same track? A combination that I never anticipated. These two guys have mastered the art of rhyme and lyrics. They kept it simple, 2 verses and a chorus. Both rappers remind the people of their street roots. Perfection. As a hip-hop portable, I got the 2 verses. You know, when Inspector Deck start, I say 1, 2, 3, and to the 4. I glide like there's simply no traction on the floor. 10 to 103 or 4, live action from the door. Shorty Dime let the whole team smash her on the tour. I splash bravado, fast cash aficionado. Savage Vendel, I'm a legend of tomorrow. Breaking the truth, here's proof, ain't it the truth? So little, a nigga spit with a containment suit. Slaying the boat and shoot bang, cave in the roof. Hater wouldn't last a day in my shoes. You know very well, Betty swell, you can tell the jail. My price hiking like the pills Martin Schwerply sell. Mathematics tracks, I craft a Voc. Fact, I black on it, black, I'm back at it. Mathematics tracks, I craft a Voc. Fact, I black on it, black, I'm back at it. Yo, the most underrated MC Inspector Deck, you know, the Rebel INS. And then you got verse 2, Redman. Yo, I'm on top of the world, mama, look here. I'm a boy beasting in my car, Paul Revere. Horsepower never fell off, look in the mirror. When I drop something you like Martin, all ears. Late night Letterman, I light it like Edison. Fire through the wire, I wrote it out in Maryland. Arrogant? Yes, tune in my Hot 9 flex, cause the check and your boy digress. At my age, it's all about bread. Trying to be nice at 40, you can have it all shorty. I'm trying to make history, and history say, fuck rap, I divorced her, the bitch bored me. Throw your hands up, let's steer the bar up. So much blood, I started sweating cigarette guts. And these white folks love me like a Starbucks. Fuck with one dude, you gotta fuck with all of us. Yo, that was ill. Redman. And as the chorus, he kills you. Redman kills you. When niggas in the street gonna learn. Them Wu-Tang niggas don't play. Niggas in the street gonna learn. Them squad niggas don't play. Niggas in the street gonna learn. Them Jersey niggas don't play. Niggas in the street gonna learn. Them Staten Island niggas don't play. Yo, this should be perfection. And for all these reasons, I have to go with a perfect score of 5 out of 5. It's like 85% of Wu-Tang's lyrics are like perfect, man. These guys, you can't touch them. Even on their lazy days, you cannot touch them. Courtesy of Genius.com for the lyrics. Drum rolls, please. We're gonna go with my top 5 songs from the Saga Continue album by Wu-Tang. In any particular order, I got Frozen featuring Chris Rivers. This is Big Pun's son, and Killer Priest and Method Man. That's a dope track. And then I got my only one featuring Capadonna, Ghostface Killer, RZA, and Steven Lotto on the hook. And then you had Hood Go Bang, that's with Method Man and Redman, a perfect craft. And then you got the song I'm reviewing, Lesson Learned, featuring Inspector Deck and Redman. And then you got People Say, the first single of the album. It's with Method Man, Rake One, Redman, Inspector Deck, Master Killer, and ODB in the outro. As a 6th honorable mention, I'll go with YYY featuring my man RZA and Swanka. This was my top 5 songs from the Saga Continue album released in 2017. Go check it out, the last new material. Production and beat. What makes this good or bad? The beat is reminiscent of the original Wu sound by RZA. The beat strikes hard and gives you chills. You can see the influence of RZA. The Ensonic ASR-10 was and is still the sound of the Wu-Tang, a piece of equipment that I once owned and experiment with when making beats. The album was mixed by Josh Garnett. Josh is an amazing recording and mixing engineer and a music director at Mixer. Mixer is a trusted network of creative professionals. He's also the tour manager for Redman since 2014. He made records with some of the most influential musicians in rock, hip-hop, jazz, blues, pop, and Latin music. Aiming to make the records that influence tomorrow, his hip-hop resume includes the Wu-Tang album The Saga Continues in 2017, Redman's 2015 Mudface, Inspector Deck's 2019 Chamber Number 9, and Ghostface Killer's 2019 release, Ghostface Killers, a dope album to check out. Words about the producer DJ Mathematics. You all know Maurice Bean, also known as Alan Mathematics, was born and raised in Jamaica, Queens, New York. Mathematics was introduced to hip-hop by his brother, who used to bring home recordings of the genre's pioneers like Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, Treacherous Tree, and Cold Crush Brothers. He began his career in 1987 DJing block parties and park jams in Baisley projects, going by the name of Supreme Cut Master. In '88, he became the full-time DJ for experienced rapper Victor C., doing countless shows in clubs and colleges in New York City. In 1990, Mathematics linked up with GZA Genius, who was at the time struggling to build a career on the Cold Chillin' label. His partnership earned Mathematics a spot on his first official tour, the Cold Chillin' Blizzard Tour, with popular acts such as Biz Markie, Big Daddy Kane, Cool Giraffe, DJ Polo, Marty Marl, Granddaddy IU, and GZA. GZA left Cool Chillin' after his first album, Words from the Genius, because it did not achieve the sales target that was anticipated. He and Mathematics took to the road again with the group All In Together Now, which consisted of GZA and his cousin RZA and Old Dirty Bastard. The trio soon dissolved, but however set their minds on creating the Wu. Mathematics' real first exposure to production came late one night when he attended a session where he assisted RZA, his mentor, in constructing a beat from nothing. The track eventually developed into Ice Cream on Raekwon's Only Built for Cuban Links album. That's a classic album, The Purple Team, but check it out. RZA inspired Mathematics to follow Wu-Tang, giving him advice on the nuances of hip-hop production over the coming years. In 1996, Mathematics began producing full-time. His first track was Fast Life, featuring Ghostface Killer and the American football star Andre Rison, and was included on the NFL Gems compilation album. Though the track faded into obscurity somewhat, it led to several more collabos between Mathematics and Ghostface. Mathematics also began to produce for the Wu-Tang members' solo efforts and affiliate projects. Eventually, he finally went to produce for the Clan as a group in 2000 with the song Do You Really Tang Tang on their third album, The W. In 2003, Mathematics moved into TV works as he produced the main theme and original music for the short-lived show When They're at Large, which stars Wendell Sykes and the Fox Network. The beat contains only two samples, multiple elements from I'm Afraid the Masquerade is Over by David Porter from 1971, and vocal lyrics from Nothing But a G-Thing by Dr. Dre featuring Snoop Dogg in 1992. Courtesy of WuSample.com and Wikipedia. And for all these reasons, I had to go for the beat production with a 4.5 out of 5. Fun fact, the Wu Elements are a production team closely affiliated with the Wu-Tang Clan under the guidance of RZA. A loosely knit group, it consists of 5 producers who typically support main producer RZA in handling production duties for the Wu-Tang group, solo projects, and affiliates. The 5 members are in chronological order: the 4 Disciple, then you have the True Master, and then Mathematics, and Guns Nazareth, and Silver Maze. who was mostly involved in the production of the limited to a single copy Cement Studio Wu-Tang album Once Upon a Time in Shaolin that was sold in 2015 as the most expensive work of music ever sold for $2 million. Past members included Moondog Halla and Goldfingers that had a short-lived stay with the production team. Before we get back to the next section, we at 40 Years of Hip Hop use Buzzsprout to broadcast our podcast and get our show listed on every podcast platform available. So far, our podcast is listed on over 20 platforms and reached 20,000 downloads in less than 2 years. As a Buzzsprout member, you will get a great-looking podcasting platform, an audio player that you can drop into your website, even WordPress. You will also benefit with detailed analytics and tools to promote your episode, like audio-video snippets of your podcast called soundbites. My favorite benefit is that I get to generate a second revenue by talking about something that I'm passionate about. Think about it. Are you a fan of something? Try podcasting about it. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. It can generate you a secondary revenue. Get started for free, no credit card required. Cancel anytime, no contract. Use the link in our episode notes to let Buzzsprout know that we referred you, and if you sign up after your trial to a paid plan, you'll receive a $20 Amazon gift card and help support our show. Buzzsprout is the way to go. Relevance and longevity. Did it stand the test of time? If so, how? It did mightily, since it's a fairly brand new track as far as longevity. It is a Wu-Tang song. For sure, it has some relevance as soon as it was released. The power of the dubbing. Time will tell for this section. The song didn't chart, but was a success on the ground and in the hip-hop community. But the album did chart internationally. It's a Wu joint. It's international whenever Wu-Tang drops something new. And went on different charts, the album. Number 15 on US Billboard 200 albums. Number 1 on US Billboard Independent Albums. Number 8 on US Billboard Top R&B Hip Hop Albums. Number 21 on Canadian Billboard Albums. 42 on UK Albums Chart. Number 10 on the Swiss Album Chart. Number 39 on the Scottish Albums Chart. Number 3 on the New Zealand Hitseeker Albums. Number 69 on the French Albums Chart. Number 37 on the German charts. 79 on the Dutch chart. Number 19 on the Czech chart. Number 60 on the Belgian album charts. And number 29 on the Australian chart. Wow, it charted everywhere, the album. The song was not simple at all, since it's fairly new, and time will tell if someone will sample that song. And for all these reasons, I had to go for relevance and longevity with a 2.5 out of 5. Fun fact, RZA commented in an interview, mathematics was always in the shadows of the Wu doing the knowledge. He learned how to make beats and produce, and after a while, when RZA became a composer, he became further and further away from the sound of the Wu-Tang. He was really given the task and he took upon himself to go and start having the members re-energize their voices to the classic Wu-Tang sound. After that, he got it to a certain degree and he was like, I'm going to come over and show you where I'm at, guys. And then he showed RZA, and RZA was like, yo, the saga continues, go on. Impact. How did this song impact hip-hop culture? The saga continues, overall captures some of the old Wu magic, and this song is the one that stands out the most to me, besides the track People Say, with most of the members and Redman. It's fairly a new song that's only 4 years old, and the impact is yet to be fully seen to its extent. When it came out as the second single, it determined that Redman is definitely an extended member of the group as a 10th member, since his chemistry with the crew is so natural. The song also gave a glance at the return of RZA following positive reviews of this album produced by Mathematics with a glimpse of the original sound. And for all these reasons, for impact, I had to go with a 3 out of 5. A fun fact, recently RZA has confirmed his return in Wu-Tang production once again. He will be handling all the production on GZA's sequel album Liquid Swords 2, The Return of the Shadow Boxer, and other upcoming projects that were slated for RZA Productions includes Ghostface Supreme Clientele present Blue and Cream, The Wally Era, Then you got Raekwon's eventual Only Built for Cuban Links Part 3. You got Method Man also trying to get RZA involved on his final album, Crystal Meth. And Inspector Deck looking forward to a RZA production on his Uncontrolled Substance 2 as well. Most of these albums will most likely close out the Wu-Tang dynasty and legacy with RZA production on these albums, marking a follow-up to the double disc closing chapter, The Wu, Once Upon a Time in Shaolin. It may be the final chapter of the Wu legacy. I can't wait to hear this. Wu-Tang forever. So to sum it up, I had for Originality a 4 out of 5. For delivery, lyrics, and flow, a perfect score of 5 out of 5. For beat and production, a 4.5 out of 5. Relevance and longevity, a 2.5 out of 5. And for impact, a 3 out of 5 for a total of 19 out of 25. That sums up to a 76% for the track. Thank you, fellow hip-hop purists, for tuning into our podcast at 40yearsofhiphop.buzzsprout.com and click on the support us icon to buy us a coffee. Our Patreon so that we can continue our weekly podcast journey until we reach 1,000 episodes. We're also available on all of the major podcast platforms like YouTube and Facebook. Follow us on social media at 40 Years of Hip Hop on IG, Twitter, and Facebook. We've also made FeedSpot's top 45 hip hop podcast list as number 15. Go check the list. See all links in our episode notes. I'll be back next week with Ooh Ooh by Young M.A. This is the G-Man signing out, and I'm Howdy 5000. Peace.